kunja-vihari. Jaya Radha-Madhava kunja-vihari. Jaya Gopi-Jana-Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi-Jana-Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana-Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana-Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha-Madhava kunja-vihari. Jaya Radha-Madhava kunja-vihari. Jaya Gopi-Jana-Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi-Jana-Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana-Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana-Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rāma Hare Rāma 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 Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rāma Hare Rāma 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 Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rāma Hare Rāma 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 Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rāma Hare Rāma 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 Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rāma 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 Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rāma 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 Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rāma 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 Rāma, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Shyama Sundar Radha Shyama Sundar Radhe. Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Gauranidai, 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 Jaya Gauranidai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nidai Gaura Premanande. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Stotra Sata Srimad Avaya Janaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Nitya Leela Pravishta Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Stotra Sata Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasvatī Goswami Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की प्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगामयी यमुनामयी की भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की समवेद भक्त वृंद की all glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I welcome you to this evening's Bhagavad Gita class. Today we are discussing chapter 10, text number 11. I read this. You all can repeat after me. teṣām evānukampārtham aham ajñāna-jaṁ tamaḥ nāśayāmy ātma-bhāva-stho jñāna-dīpena bhāsvatā teṣām evānukampā-artham aham ajñāna-jaṁ tamaḥ nāśayāmyātma-bhāva-stho jñāna-dīpena bhāsvatā teṣām evānukampā-artham aham ajñāna-jaṁ tamaḥ nāśayāmy ātma-bhāva-stho jñāna-dīpena bhāsvatā evānukampārtham aham ajñāna-jaṁ tamaḥ nāśayāmy ātma-bhāva-stho jñāna-dīpena bhāsvatā teṣām evānukampārtham aham ajñāna-jaṁ tamaḥ nāśayāmy ātma-bhāva-stho teṣām evānukampārtham teṣām evānukampārtham aham ajñāna-jaṁ tamaḥ nāśayāmy ātma-bhāva-stho jñāna-dīpena bhāsvatā teṣām evānukampārtham aham ajñāna-jaṁ tamaḥ nāśayāmy ātma-bhāva-stho jñāna-dīpena bhāsvatā teṣām evānukampārtham aham ajñāna-jaṁ tamaḥ nāśayāmy ātma-bhāva-stho jñāna-dīpena bhāsvatā teṣām evānukampārtham aham ajñāna-jaṁ tamaḥ nāśayāmy ātma-bhāva-stho dīpena bhāsvatā ठीक ठीक और कोई ओके Word to word meaning, translation and purport by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki teṣām for them eva certainly anukampā-artham to show special mercy aham I ajñāna-jaṁ due to ignorance tamaḥ darkness nāśayāmy dispel ātma-bhāva within their hearts sthaḥ situated jñāna of knowledge dīpena with the lamp bhāsvatā glowing. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the lamp, with the shining lamp of knowledge, the darkness born of ignorance. You all can repeat after me. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. Purport. When Lord Caitanya was in Benares, promulgating the chanting of Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Rāma Rāma, Hare Hare, thousands of people were following him. Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī, a very influential and learned scholar in Benares, at that time derided Lord Caitanya for being a sentimentalist. Sometimes Mayavadi philosophers criticize the devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in the darkness of ignorance and are philosophically naive sentimentalists. Actually, that is not the fact. There are very, very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion. But even if a devotee doesn't take advantage of their literatures or his spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Kṛṣṇa Himself within his heart. So, the sincere devotee engaged in Kṛṣṇa consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Kṛṣṇa consciousness. The Mayavadi philosophers think that without discriminating, one cannot have pure knowledge. For them, this answer is given by the Supreme Lord. Those who are engaged in pure devotional service, even though they be without sufficient education and even without sufficient knowledge of the Vedic principles, are still helped by the Supreme Lord, as stated in this verse. The Lord tells Arjuna that basically there is no possibility of understanding the supreme truth, the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, simply by speculating. The supreme truth is not so great that it is not is so great that it is not possible to understand him or to achieve him simply by making a mental effort. Man can go on speculating for millions, several millions of years, and if he is not devoted, if he is not a lover of the supreme truth, he will never understand Kṛṣṇa or the supreme truth. Only the devotional service is the supreme truth. Kṛṣṇa is pleased, and by his inconceivable energy, he can reveal himself in the heart of the pure devotee. The pure devotee always has Kṛṣṇa within his heart, and with the presence of Kṛṣṇa, who is just like the sun, the darkness of ignorance at once dissipated. This is the special mercy rendered to the pure devotee by Kṛṣṇa. Due to the contamination of material association through many, many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. But when one engages in devotional service and chants constantly Hare Kṛṣṇa, the dust quickly clears and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. The ultimate goal, Vishnu, can be attained only by this chant and by devotional service, and not by mental speculation or argument. The pure devotee doesn't have to worry about the material necessities of life. He need not be anxious, because when he removes the darkness from his heart, everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord, who is pleased by the loving devotional service of the devotee. This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a soul completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord and engage himself in pure devotional service. As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely free from all kinds of materialistic endeavors. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnanānjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Caitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakānvitanscha He Kṛṣṇa Karuna Sindho Dīnabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostute Saptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarobhyasya krupa sindhubhya eva ca patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Sri Kṛṣṇa Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Kṛṣṇa Hare Kṛṣṇa 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 Hare 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 Rāma Hare Rāma 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 Hare Hare. Today we are discussing the fourth text of the Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita. You all know Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita consists of 10.8 to 10.11. That is today's verses. Today's text is 10.11, and each text, each sloka is so important for our life. In the Chatusloka Bhagavad Gita, the first sloka, 10.8, Krishna explains, reveals that everything is emanated from Krishna only. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva buddha-bhava-samanvita. So the first and fundamental thing what Krishna reveals, what Krishna explains is that everything in this world, whatever you see, is emanated. It comes out from me only. Hare Krishna, at the end, if you have something to discuss, kindly go out and discuss. Not here. No discussion should take place here. अगर आपको कुछ बात करना है तो आप बाहर जाके बात कर लीजिए, इधर नहीं, please. So, Krishna explains the person who is intelligent, who understands this clearly, then he will become a devotee. He will be in the service of the Supreme Lord. So the first thing to understand that everything, whatever we see, is emanated from Him. We are not the proprietor. He is the proprietor. Krishna is declaring through Arjuna to the whole human beings that you are not the person who has created. You are not the owner. Mind it seriously, clearly. Then, the person who understands what he will do, what activities he performs is explained in the 10.9. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam yantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So, the devotee's behavior is explained here in 10.9. He is always thinking about Krishna, Macchitta madgata prana. Their lives are meant for Krishna. And what they do? Bodhayanta parasparam. They will be teaching one to another. He will be listening sometimes, he will be talking sometimes only about Krishna. And by this process, tushyanticha, ramanticha, tushyanticha, they become so satisfied, they are so happy. And they get the transcendental bliss. That means, if you want transcendental bliss, if you want to have pleasure, happiness in your heart, enjoy the transcendental bliss, the process is given. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam. Always discuss about Krishna. Always speak about the glories of Krishna and listen. Sometimes you speak and sometimes you say it and listen. Bodhayanta parasparam. And then you will definitely get the pleasure, happiness. So in this world, if you want to have the real happiness, always discuss about Krishna, not about the useless material things. That man, you see, he is like that. Then what happened? Oh, he was doing like this. Then. I mean, I went to the marriage, so many ornaments that lady was wearing. What sort of ornaments? And what was the dress? These are all, what is the use? Unless anything is not related to Krishna, as much as possible, 99.9% we should try to avoid talking about such things. Then we will be really in the Krishna consciousness, and then we derive the pleasure. So Krishna explains further in 10.10 that teṣām evānukampārtham teṣām satatayuktānām bhāsvatā prīti purvakam dadāmi buddhiyogam tvam yena mām upayanti te. I will give the knowledge for such people who are always thinking about me and who is really enjoying their life, always doing devotional service unto me. I give them the knowledge. What sort of knowledge? Knowledge in the business to get lot of money? No. Krishna says, I give them the knowledge so that yena mām upayanti te, so that he will come back to me, back to my place, back to Vaikuntha, back to Golok Vrindavan Dham. I give that knowledge. So, Krishna makes it very clear that don't worry, always think about me, talk about me, and do activities in relationship with me. Then remaining part, whatever knowledge is required to go back to Godhead, I will give. So in the last, that is today's verse, Krishna is explaining how he is going to give that knowledge to that devotee. So, teṣām evānukampārtham aham ajñāna-jaṁ tamaḥ nāśayāmy ātma-bhāva-stho jñāna-dīpena bhāsvatā. Krishna says, don't worry. Now, I, being sitting in the heart of the devotee, hold the light, the torch of the light. And then I remove the darkness of ignorance and make him possess all the knowledge possible. So Krishna is giving the assurance that he takes care. He takes care of us. He takes care of the devotees. If they are involved. If he is there, Madchitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam. Madchitta Madgata Prana, that's what is required. Without that, if we think, no, why I am not getting the guidance, why my heart is not purified, why I am having so much of ignorance, why my behavior is so materialistic, if we analyze ourselves and see, we have to go back and see whether I am in line with Madchitta Madgata Prana or not. So Krishna is directly, clearly informing, instructing the human beings that if you follow this, you get back this, and you will definitely come back to Godhead. Prabhupada explains here about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the way Mayavadis derided him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whose birthday we are celebrating tomorrow, Gaura Purnima, 18th February 1486, as per Christian era, his birth took place, and this divine birth took place because of the prayers by Advaita Acharya. And as the result of the prayers, Krishna himself appears as the son of Sachi, Mata and Jagannath Mishra ji. And when he was, whoever had gone to Mayapur, they should not miss to see this wonderful place here. And because he was born under the neem tree, he was given the name of Nimai. So, a number of pastimes just similar to Krishna were performed by Nimai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his childhood days. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is nothing but the Krishna's whole powers plus Radharani's heart, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, for the simple understanding, it is Krishna plus Radharani equal to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Krishna possesses all the, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu possesses all the powers, even though he doesn't exhibit many times. And with Radharani's body luster, he comes into this world to liberate the people who are fallen, basically from the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra. The Mahamantra is so powerful, as is explained in 6-18. Ajñāna-jaṁ sankirtitatamagam pumso dahe dedho yatha nala. Just like the one which is ये PowerPoint, अरे इसमें ये दबाइए तोड़, ये है ना इधर प्रेजेंटेशन, हाँ दबाइए, प्रेजेंटेशन दबाना, that's why animation is not coming, दबाइए बड़ा आएगा, हाँ हाँ नहीं ये जाएगा, ये जाना चाहिए ऊपर का प्रेजेंटेशन दबाई, इधर होगा, इधर, हाँ हाँ ये कब के जैसा है वो दबाई, ओके चल प्रेजेंटेशन दबाओ बेटा, इधर हो, हाँ जैसा Just like the dry grass, by knowingly, unknowingly, if somebody just puts a fire, then it will simply catch fire and become ash, get reduced to ash. In the same manner, the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra is so powerful that anybody who utters it, he will get rid of all the sins. In the same manner as knowingly, unknowingly, when a dry grass is just touched with a small fire. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, through the Sankirtan mission, he started all over the country, and after taking sannyas, diksha, he started moving towards Vrindavan. And on the way to Vrindavan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reaches Varanasi, Benares. Then, in Benares, there were so many people who were Mayavadi philosophers, who were blaspheming against him. They were saying, although a sannyasi, he doesn't take interest in the study of Vedanta, but instead always engages in chanting and dancing in Sankirtana. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an illiterate sannyasi and therefore doesn't know his real function. Guided only by his sentiments, he wanders about the company of other sentimentalists. So, all this, hearing all this blasphemy, Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu merely smiled to himself, rejected all of them. So, one day, when Sanatana Goswami came from Bengal, he met Lord Caitanya at the house of Tapan Misra, and Lord Caitanya remained continuously there for 2 months to teach him the devotional service. So when all these people were talking like this, they appealed to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at his lotus feet that how long we can tolerate the blasphemy of your critics against your conduct. We should give up our lives rather than hear such blasphemy. The Mayavadi sannyasis all are criticizing your holiness. We can't tolerate hearing such criticism. So, when this was all going on, one Brahmana fell at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and requested him to accept his proposal that all the sannyasis are invited to his house, he should also join. And so he requested, my dear Lord, I have invited all the sannyasis of Benares to my house. My desires will be fulfilled if you also accept my invitation. So, with his invitation, immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepts. And he goes to the meeting, he goes to his house where all Mayavadi sannyasis were sitting. And their leader, Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī, was also there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just washes his feet, and after washing his feet, he sat down by the place where he had just washed. And when he was sitting, the great shining, the luster, the brightness from his body made them to understand that he is not an ordinary person. So, by seeing this, then Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī goes to him and says, please come here, Your Holiness, why do you sit in the unclean place? What has caused your lamentation? You see how Lord replied. This I am reading Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, 7th chapter, 64th verse. The Lord replied, I belong to a lower order of sannyasis. Therefore, I don't deserve to sit with you. You all are very big people. I am very low person. Then Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī, however, caught him personally by the hand and made him to sit in the assembly. Then Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī, actually the discussions are very worth to read, understand, comprehend, explain, so that our mind will be purified. So I just read. You belong to our Shankara Sampradaya and live in our village Varanasi. Why then you do not associate with us? What is that you avoid even seeing? Why is that you avoid even seeing us? You are a sannyasi. Why then you indulge in chanting and dancing, engaging in your Sankirtana movement in the company of fanatics? Meditation and study of Vedanta are the sole duties of a sannyasi. Why do you abandon these to dance with fanatics? You look as brilliant as if you were Narayana himself. Will you kindly explain the reason that you have adopted the behavior of a lower class people? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied to Prakāśānanda Sarasvatī, my dear sir, kindly hear the reason. My spiritual master considered me a fool, and therefore he chastised me. You are a fool, he said. You are not qualified to study Vedanta philosophy, and therefore you must always chant the holy name of Krishna. This is the essence of all mantras or Vedic hymns. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one can obtain freedom from material existence. Indeed, simply by chanting the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra, one will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. In this age of Kali, there is no religious principle other than the chanting of holy name, which is the essence of all Vedic hymns. This is the purport of all scriptures. After describing the potency of the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra, my spiritual master taught me another verse advising me to keep it within my throat. For spiritual progress, that was Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma, Hare Rāma Kevalam. For the spiritual progress in this age of Kali, there is no alternative than the holy name of the Lord. Since I received the order from my spiritual master, I always chant the holy name. But I thought that by chanting the holy name, I have been bewildered. While chanting the holy name of the Lord in pure ecstasy, I lose myself, and thus I laugh, cry, dance, and sing just like a madman. Collecting my patience, therefore, I began to consider that chanting the holy name of Krishna had covered all my spiritual knowledge. I saw that I had become mad by chanting the holy name, and I immediately submitted this at the lotus feet of my spiritual master. My dear Lord, what kind of mantra you have given me? I have become mad simply by chanting this Mahamantra. Chanting the holy name in ecstasy causes me to dance, laugh, and cry. Then my spiritual master explained, it is the nature of the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra that anyone who chants it immediately develops this loving ecstasy for the Krishna. Religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation are known as four goals of life, but before the love of Godhead, the fifth and highest goal, these appear as insignificant straw in the street. So, like this, when he explained, then all the Mayavadi sannyasis immediately understood, and they all actually become his devotees. So, we can see that the attraction towards Krishna and attraction towards material enjoyment. Our choice should be to go towards Krishna rather than try to enjoy the material happiness. Material happiness means it is janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. Birth, death cycle, again and again and again and again. So, just like this fellow taking advantage, you can see Charlie Chaplin's just lit small clip. He is holding the magnet, and with the magnet he takes the advantage. Just see how nice it is. He takes the advantage of moving along with the car. So get attracted to Krishna and move yourself towards the Golok Vrindavan Dham. So, the material attraction is so strong, just like in the case of Chitraketu. Chitraketu was a king who was ruling the whole world, whole earth, but still he was not happy because he didn't have sons. And when Angira Muni, Angira Rishi came to his place, he requested, kindly do something and get me a son. Angira Rishi tells him, you see, I can give you the son, but he will be the cause of your joy and also the cause of your misery. You decide. No, you kindly give me son, because the son may create some problem and it may give some misery. I don't mind taking that misery. So Angira Rishi blesses him and he gets a beautiful son. As the time passed, he got very beautiful son. But he had many other wives who didn't have the child, male child. So they became so jealous, and one day the child was given the poison and the child died. He felt so bad and he was weeping and shouting, and the whole administration in the country had become disturbed. So seeing all this, Narad Muni was approached by Angira Rishi, and both Narad Muni and Angira Muni went to his place and they inquired, oh, I am sorry that your son is no more. But I will try my best. I will do something. So he goes to the son. He goes to the dead body and says, oh Atma, oh soul, why did you leave so early? Your parents are weeping. Your parents are lamenting. Come back, come back, come back to the body. Then the soul comes back to the body and started talking. Then he says, the soul says, these are my parents. Who are the parents? I am the one who is changing the body again and again and again and again and again. Once I was a cow, once I was a donkey, once I was a pig, once I was so many lives and so many mothers, so many fathers. And I'm sorry, I am unable to find in the list. Who are these? Then when he explained that he is not the body, he is the soul, then Chitraketu could understand, yes, I am sorry, I was lamenting and I was in the material pleasures, that's why I got this misery. So he surrenders onto Krishna, understanding this. So these material happiness or material things, they are temporary, just temporary. If somebody thinks, I am the creator, I enjoy, they are the biggest fools on this earth, because they are going to get all the problems in the Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. And taking birth again and again, right from the childhood, whatever they think, I I have become a big doctor, I have become a big engineer, I possess so much money, I possess so many buildings, so many cars, I am enjoying. But one day you have to leave everything and you have to suffer because janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, the disease. Anybody, whatever be the position, whatever be the great position, material position he has got, he has to undergo. He has to leave everything and just leave the body. And the atma, the soul, which is permanent, eternal, will take another body. And that body is also, one day or the other, that will become old, again that will go. Another body, another. So this cycle is going on. Until and unless we come out of this cycle of birth and death, we will be having all the miseries of janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi. So, if somebody is after the money, he is like this, okay, I will reach one point. When will you reach? This is the one which is a cycle which will never stop. So after the death also, when he becomes a ghost, he will be after money. That is of no use. We should understand very clearly that we are like a nut for the whole mission. Nut on its own doesn't do any activity, doesn't produce. Nut is meant for getting fixed in the machine. Nut is not independent. Nut, when it is fixed in the machine, its purpose is served. When we water the roots of the big tree, each and every leaf will get the water. If we water from the top, if we water the leaves, it is ridiculous because no water will go and enter. The tree cannot get any sort of nourishment. If we just put the food, take the food inside the stomach, then each and every organ will be nourished. If somebody thinks that just like hand, if hand has cut the apple and hand wants to enjoy, wants to eat apple, it is impossible. It is foolishness. Similarly, if we think we want to enjoy ourselves forgetting Kṛṣṇa, it is impossible. We are the servant and servants of Kṛṣṇa. If we satisfy Kṛṣṇa, we will automatically be satisfied. So we have the choice, either taking the path of material enjoyment or taking the path of attracting to Kṛṣṇa and carrying out devotional activities. If we carry out the activities of Kṛṣṇa, then carry out activities for Kṛṣṇa, then we are sure we will go back to Godhead. So, Kṛṣṇere charane haya yedi anuraga, Kṛṣṇa vinu anatra tara nahi rahe raga. Kṛṣṇere charane haya yedi anuraga. If we have the attachment to Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa's lotus feet, then other attachments, one by one, automatically will go. So our attachment will be permanent and we can think of getting ourselves elevated. Otherwise, we will be in that. But in spite of all that, why the real love for Kṛṣṇa is not generating, is not coming in our heart? In the Nectar of Instruction 7, it is explained. The sugarcane juice is so sweet when we taste it. Oh, it is so sweet. But one person, while tasting it, says, oh, this is bitter. So bad. Oh, bad, bitter. Why it is bitter? It is kadwa. How is that everyone is drinking? Is because he is having jaundice. His eyes are diseased. He is a diseased person with jaundice. And so the person with jaundice, sweet things will be tasting bitter to him. Those sugarcane juice will be bitter. But the same sugarcane juice, when it is taken as the medicine, then jaundice disease will go from the root and he will start tasting the sweetness of the sugarcane juice. In the same manner, though in the beginning, because we are diseased with material attractions, material thinking, so we cannot enjoy the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra. We cannot feel the sweetness of the Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra. But as we keep on chanting again and again Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra, the root cause, the material attachment, will be removed from our heart and we will be cleaned of the material disease. Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya Vidya Pittopatapta Rasanasya Narochikanu Kintva Dharadhanu Dinam Khalusaiva Justva Swadvi Kramadbhavatit Tadgada Mulahantri. So, slowly, gradually, the root, the disease of the root will be removed and the person becomes disease free. That is the greatness of Hare Kṛṣṇa Mahamantra. So, we have to take it seriously and see whether we are moving towards attachment with Krishna or we are moving with more and more attachments on the material enjoyments. In 244 of Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly explained, Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam tayapa hrita teṣām vyavasāyātmika buddhi samadau na vidiyate. The person who is inclined, who is enjoying only material things, he will never get the determination to do the devotional activity. So we have to check ourselves where we are. Are we inclined to do devotional service with determination? If we want to attend Mangalarti every day, are we really coming every day? Or sometimes we come, sometimes we don't come? Are we chanting attentively? Are we chanting without any offenses? When we check ourselves, we get the answer. If we are inclined towards material enjoyment, then we will not get the determination. So, just as explained in the sloka today, if we are always remembering Krishna and carrying out activities for Krishna, such people, Krishna will definitely take care. And He, dwelling in the heart, will remove the ignorance by the light of the knowledge. So, as Krishna Himself is taking care and giving the assurance, why should we worry at all? We should accept Krishna, we should carry out activities as instructed by Krishna. Hare Krishna. So if you have questions, we can discuss for 1-2 minutes, 1 or 2 minutes. Mataji, anybody? Anybody has got any questions, any recommendations, clarifications, comments? Okay. So we stop here. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता महापुराणम की जय 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 श्री राधेश्याम।